Hi, and welcome to the Backseat Driver course. I'm your instructor. I am Skoggit, and I'll be teaching you the proper way to be a backseat driver. And if you're not familiar with where the backseat driver is, it's this right here. You are the backseat driver when you sit there. This is known as hump, wingman, shotgun, and of course the driver. Being a backseat driver is not a right, it's a privilege and a responsibility. What you will learn from this video is the proper way to go about being a backseat driver. Your enjoyment and that of others greatly depends on you, the backseat driver. Remember, the privilege to be a backseat driver must be earned. If you do not perform the proper tasks of the backseat driver to the full satisfaction of everyone in the car, the privilege may go to another passenger. The backseat driver position. The backseat driver sits to the right rear of the driver. This is a position that can be claimed much like the position of shotgun. And like I said, this is the backseat driver position. Your roles and responsibilities. The number one job of the backseat driver is assisting the driver in the navigation of the vehicle, but the job doesn't stop there. Here is a list of roles and responsibilities that may or may not be a part of the backseat driver's duties. Venting the rear cabin. It is very common for any offensive odors, whether they are environmental or biological, to become trapped in the back seat. It is the job of the backseat driver to vent the back seat and bring the obnoxious levels back to normal. Regulating the rear cabin temperature. It is the backseat driver's job to make sure the climate of the rear cabin is a comfortable temperature for all backseat passengers. This information must be relayed to the driver or shotgun. Food distribution. Any handling or distribution of food is not the job of the backseat driver. This falls under the duties of shotgun. Blind spots. It is the job of the backseat driver to clear the blind spot of the driver due to any exterior obstacle that is blocking his or her view. You are the eyes in the back of the driver's head, figuratively speaking, of course. Parallel parking. Without the assistance of the backseat driver, this advanced asphalt maneuver can make most drivers look as if they only have their learner's permit. Radio station selection. This is another job of shotgun. Note that in any job where it requires the backseat driver to lean forward into the front of the cabin is out of bounds. Trash. Even though the distribution of food does not fall under the duties of the backseat driver, it is the job of the backseat driver to police the backseat of any bags or wrappers. Car-to-car communication. As a backseat driver, you may be asked to engage in nonverbal communication with other drivers, like asking to merge into the lane or just simply saying thank you. Although at times it may be tempting to say other things with your hands, let's keep it clean out there. Backseat driving while under the influence. Never backseat drive under the influence. The law. It is the backseat driver's job to sound the alert of any black and whites in the vicinity. This is done whether you're keeping it slow in a school zone or hanging a Yui. A simple call like Johnny Law or Copper is all that is needed. If you do get pulled over, allow the driver to deal with the police officer and never provoke the driver to challenge the officer. This may cause you to become a backseat driver in the officer's car. Monitoring fluid intake. There's nothing worse for the driver than having to break his or her rhythm by pulling over to let someone water the dandelions. As a backseat driver, your job is to keep things moving. Below is a chart, but below is the drink size to bladder ratio. Keep this in mind when your passengers are filling up. How long can you hold it? 12 ounce soda drink, 2 hours. Coffee, 1 hour. 32 ounce soda, 1.5 hours. Coffee, 30 minutes. 64 ounce soft drink, 45 minutes. Coffee, 5 minutes. Parallel parking in the backseat driver. It is a misconception that parallel parking is a one-man show without the cooperation of the backseat driver. This thorny parking maneuver can be a shameful ending for everyone in the car. When the driver looks over his shoulder to initiate the parallel parking maneuver, the backseat driver needs to react quickly by moving his or her body to a 45-degree angle, thus giving the driver an unobstructed view of the parking space. This may seem like a small task, but it can be the difference between success and the driver having to leave his insurance information under the wiper of another vehicle. If the parking spot is tight, it is the backseat driver's job to get out and help navigate the vehicle into the spot. There is 2 approved communication methods when navigating outside the vehicle. Method 1, the first one is a wave and stop, and the backseat driver waves the driver to keep coming. When the 2 bumpers get close, the backseat driver holds out his hand and yells, "Whoa." That would be like this. And then when the driver gets close, then you go like this. Method 2, the second approved method, is done by showing the driver how much room he or she has by holding your hands apart in a rough estimate. That would be having both hands and bringing them like this. Remember, when you're doing outside vehicle navigation, all eyes are on you. So when you succeed in public, and when you fail in public. Blind spots. One of the most important jobs of the backseat driver is clearing the blind spot. When asked by the driver if the blind spot is clear, the backseat driver must respond quickly and accurately. Remember, as a backseat driver, you are the eyes and back of the driver's head. Yes, and this analogy is a little corny, but it is accurate. So please go with it. Note, blind spots are usually the result of lazy driver. As a backseat driver, you may have to inform your driver that by properly adjusting the side mirrors, he or she can virtually eliminate all blind spots. When clearing the blind spot, the backseat driver should not attempt to scare the living poo out of everyone by yelling, "Not now." Merging. There may be some occasions when the driver needs the assistance of the backseat driver to merge into a faster moving lane of traffic. First, backseat driver needs to make eye contact with the opposing lane driver. The eye contact is very important. A good backseat driver knows how to get opposing driver's attention and can tell just by looking at the other driver if he or she is going to allow the merge. Once eye contact, step 2. Once eye contact has been established, point and mouth very slowly the words Can we get over? 9 out of 10 times the opposing driver will let you merge. Step 3. But the job doesn't end there. A gentle prodding of the driver to initiate him or her to offer a thank you wave may be required. Now that you know about the backseat driver, now is a backseat driver's exam, and see if you can pass it. There'll be 7 questions. Question number 1. Which of the following is not the responsibility of the backseat driver? A. Regulating the temperature on the rear cabin. B. Assisting the driver in merging. C. Radio station selection. Number 2. The driver has just initiated a parallel parking maneuver. You should A. Turn around and offer your opinion on how much space the driver has to back up. B. Move your body in a 45-degree angle to provide a clear view of the driver. C. Lower the headrest to reduce constrictions. 3. The proper seating position for the backseat driver is A. The front passenger seat. B. The rear driver's side seat. C. The rear passenger side seat. 4. When backseat driving under the influence of alcohol, you should always A. Place your beverage securely in the nearest cup holder. B. Use the restroom frequently. Or C. Never backseat drive under the influence of alcohol. 5. When assisting the driver in parallel parking, the backseat driver A. should always remain seated. B. Stand outside the vehicle and aid the driver in avoiding a collision with the parked vehicles. C. Lean forward into the front seat. 6. When parallel parking, the backseat driver should use all but one of the following methods to approximate the amount of distance remaining between vehicles. A. The wave and stop. B. Sign language. C. Holding your hands apart in a rough estimate. 7. Which of the following beverages will result in the fewest number of pit stops? A. 32-ounce soft drink. B. 64-ounce coffee. C. 12-ounce soft drink. Now I'll give you the exam answer key. Number 1 was correct answer was C. Number 2, B. Number 3, C. Number 4, C. Number 5, B. Number 6, B. And number 7, C. Your correct answers, if you received all 7 right, you pass. 5 to 6, you pass. However, further watching of the video couldn't hurt. 3 to 4, you fail. 1 to 2, did you even watch the video? And with that being said, if you got all of them right and you passed the course, then you will receive your backseat driver license. This is Skoggit, the backseat driver course instructor. Appreciate all you viewers and subscribers, and y'all take care.